In Johannesburg, South Africa, the day starts out for these young contenders the same as many others, with an early morning run. However, in a city where a third of the 3 million population lives in the townships of Soweto and Alexandra, escaping a life of poverty is no easy walk in the park. Professional boxing has always offered some a way out, and there is one man who's been helping these fighters fulfill their ambitions for the last 20 years.
You know, I've always said that a fighter that gets into the ring has got to be 2,000% committed, because he's the one taking the punches. I can shout as much instructions from the corner or give as much instructions from the corner as possible, but I'm not getting hit. That guy's getting there, he's getting hit. I commit myself 2,000% to my fighters, and I expect the same back from them. I don't ask my fighters at the gym in the daytime when they come to gym whether they ran in the morning. I was there to see them run this morning. You know, I don't have to ask my fighters, did you run? I was there to watch them run. So whatever I put in, I expect back from them.
He is Nick Durandt, a trainer with an impressive record, having produced 14 world and over 60 South African champions. He learned from one of the legends of boxing, Lou Duva, and having worked with the likes of Evander Holyfield and Roy Jones Jr., Nick knows exactly what he wants.
The biggest drive for me, the biggest achievement for me is victory. It's not about the cash, it's not about myself. It's about taking guys like, I've taken so many youngsters in life that come with nothing. I've got fighters that have joined me in the past that could not eat with a knife and fork. And to take youngsters that have come from the bush in Africa and make them world champions and see them with homes in the suburbs of South Africa, in the suburbs of Johannesburg, and see them driving BMWs, that for me is achievement.
With 54 fighters in his gym, known as the Sweatbox, 28 of whom wear title belts, he's South African boxing's most successful trainer. In 1995, he trained Sugarboy Malinga to South Africa's first WBC world title when he defeated Nigel Benn for the super middleweight belt. And in 2001, he was in Hasim Rahman's corner when he knocked out Lennox Lewis for the world heavyweight title in a fight dubbed the Thunder in Africa.
There's a secret to the recipe in KFC. You know, there's a secret to the recipe of Nick Durandt. I think it's hard work, it's willing, it's dedication. It's discipline, you know, and I try and install that in all my fighters. And I'm the first in my gym to tell a fighter if he's not cutting the grade to go and play soccer.
Nick gave up a soccer career with Wits University when he was younger to take up boxing. Now he's looking to build on his success this year with IBO bantamweight champion Silence Mabuza by preparing Africa's only 5-time world champion Cassius Baloyi for his IBF junior lightweight challenge against the champion Mzonke Fana. He's aware that it takes more than just hard work in the gym to be a top fighter.
So I think it's very important that a fighter has a personality and charisma in the ring. Apart from obviously being a great fighter, you know, you can get great fighters in the world that you can go and watch, and they're not knockout artists, they're just good boxers. You can sit for 12 rounds and watch this guy box. He'll beat the other guy.
And Nick's assessment of what makes a great fighter doesn't even spare the greatest himself for dressing down.
Ali was Ali because of his mouth. I really don't think myself, you know, he was obviously one of the greatest fighters in the world, but I don't think that Ali would have lasted with the heavyweights of 5 years ago. If you took Ali in his prime, you took Mike Tyson in his prime, I think Tyson would have beaten Ali. I think Tyson would have knocked out Ali.
Away from training fighters, Nick is very much a family man. Having been born on Boxing Day, though, fighting is in his blood and is never far away, as Nick's eldest son, Damien, has been working as a cornerman for him since the age of 14. And in 2005, with the help of sponsors, Nick opened up a public boxer-sized gym. While predominantly a business venture, Nick also sees the gym as a way to help his fighters, 12 of whom are currently employed there as trainers, develop new skills and give something back to boxing.
There is no time frame to a boxer's career. The reason why I've got fighters employed there is that obviously first they can have an income outside of boxing. Secondly, that it's development of future trainers for our country. Thirdly, guys must be able to go out after boxing and have a life after boxing. Because as we've seen so many times in the world of boxing, great champions retire. 2 years down the road, these guys have got no money. I just think that fighters need to be educated while they're on top of their game.
Having won 98% of the fights he's been involved in throughout his career, and having had fighters challenge for and capture numerous world titles against boxers such as Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Marco Antonio Barrera, Nick has had first-hand experience of seeing other trainers and the effects they have on fighters.
Mayweather's blessed. He's blessed with a great talent. And I don't care if Roger Mayweather's watching this. He ain't the best trainer in the world. He's just a and a talker. Okay, there's many better trainers than Roger Mayweather. Floyd is Floyd Mayweather because of himself, not because of Roger. Floyd made himself. Floyd has a God-given talent. All Roger is a timekeeper, and he gives him water. Roger was a great fighter, but some great fighters can never make great trainers. And I don't believe that Roger's the great trainer he professes to be.
Short term, there are title challenges and defences in the offing for Nick and his fighters. But looking further afield, is there anything he still wants to achieve before finally throwing in the towel?
And I'd love to have the opportunity one day to train a great American fighter, to appoint me as their trainer, to give me a shot. I would like to set my goals is to train a marquee fighter that can walk out in the main event at MGM Grand or Madison Square Garden, you know. And I've had WBC world champions, I've had IBF world champions, I've had world champions in every organisation. But my ultimate goal is to train an HBO contracted fighter.